Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Kim Duramo from the American Institute of Mind-Body Medicine, and this is Mind-Body TV. Welcome for those of you who are live, and welcome to everyone who's listening to the replay or the podcast. Today I'm going to share about why you should stop working on yourself, why this actually doesn't create the change you're really looking for and just creates more work for you to continue to do. If you've kind of made a lifestyle out of self-improvement or self-development, which is what I did for so long, trying to learn more or be better or be an improved version of myself in order to improve and change my life. If you've done this, maybe you will see some change, but you'll find it's not really lasting, or it isn't really it just creates more work, and now your entire life revolves around healing that disease or making your relationship work or keeping your weight under control. If you've kind of made a lifestyle out of self-improvement but not really found the fulfillment you're really looking for, this is the episode to tune into. There are a lot of ways we learn that we should be better, or we should do this, or we shouldn't do that, especially in medicine and health and wellness. There are a zillion rules. But what this creates is a contraction and a resistance because we aren't in self-acceptance. So if it kind of seems like, wait a minute, if I were to accept all of this, then I'd never get better. It would never change. And then I'd be sick forever. And I don't want that. No way. You might want to stay tuned and really dial in, because this is a very much more expansive way of looking at how the body functions, inviting you to be in ease as a way of allowing change, of allowing expansion, and allowing you to heal. So welcome, everyone. I love hearing where you are listening from. I am broadcasting today from Cape Cod. We're down in Centerville at my sister's family's house. We've had an amazing time with the kids, and I feel like I've already had a whole summer before we've even had the 4th of July come about, and this has been amazing. So we've come out east for a couple of months to enjoy the summer with my family out here, and then we came down to the Cape with my sister and a couple of her kids, and we've been having an amazing time on the beaches. And one of my favorite people, Shama Fulham Klee, who was a client of mine and just a really dear friend, we've been playing around with her and her friends, so I want to give her kids, I want to give a shout out to Shama. And welcome to everyone who's here, Julie, Danny, Nicole, woohoo! So this is a really kind of maybe tip in the apple cart statement to make, that you don't want to work on yourself. You shouldn't work on yourself. It's not going to create what you want, because so many of us for decades have been told, I need to improve, or we have this idea that what I'm dealing with is so unthinkable. How could I not fight against it? How could I not try to improve it? And I'm not saying that you're not inviting change in your life or something that's a higher, more expansive way of being. It's just when we're in this idea of better versus less than, or I've got to be better, I'm this new and improved version of myself, I'm not that old person that I used to be, oh, thank goodness I'm not that person. There becomes this duality that we're locked into, where it's like superiority, inferiority, better, worse than, acceptable, unacceptable. And that is like poison to your body. A lot of the self-help or self-improvement or even nutrition and diet guidelines that are pretty advanced are done based in a lack of self-acceptance, like a disdain. Oh, I can't stand my body. I have to change my body. I'm going to do this diet and I'm going to make that change. I'm going to motivate myself and I'm going to make things different. Or even in our relationships where we want to have change. I don't want to be in this abuse pattern anymore. I want to be loved for who I am. But we're still in resistance. We're actually rejecting the state that we find ourselves in, or that we have intermittently found ourselves or come into in a pattern of our health, fatigue, physical health and weight, or relationship patterns, or even things that are happening in our work or in our money. When we're in that pattern of resistance, it's toxic to the body. So how can we move into self-acceptance and think, wait, then I'm just going to decide everything's okay, but it's really not. That's not what we're doing here. When we move into self-acceptance, it's a different harmonic. It's like an antidote to all of the things that create stress. When we're trying to improve ourselves, our cortisol levels rise, stress hormones rise. There are a lot of inflammatory markers that increase in the body, like I'm fighting against this disease, I'm fighting against the fat, I'm fighting against fatigue, this actually makes you sicker. It blocks you from healing. It blocks you from being in the flow with your body, allowing your body to be at its ideal weight, ingest and assimilate and absorb food fluidly instead of like having a lot of glitches with different foods and I can't eat this and I can't eat that. It creates more inflammation. When we're in harmony with what is, it actually allows it to release. And this happens on the physical level, like if we just look at digestion or, hey, I have candida, I've got to be on this candida diet, I've got to improve my microbiome. All of this has to do with your consciousness. If you're fighting against something, it will always bring you into a greater stress state. It will disrupt digestion. It will disrupt your gut microbiome. It will disrupt your ability to clear candida and have like a healthy gut biome. It will disrupt your ability to see solutions to things, even if they're right in front of you. So you're like struggling with either a health problem, Lyme disease, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, instead of being aware of what resources might be right there, right now, that could really make all the difference. Someone brought up in the Embracing Health program the other day around this, they said, well, if I'm just in allowing and acceptance instead of trying to fight against what's happening, aren't I going to just kind of miss the boat? Like I'm, floating in the ocean and I'm not even bothering to swim. I'm just lying there, letting the tide take me. But I kind of shared that it's not a matter of being passive or apathetic. Like, well, I'll just let life take care of it for me and I'm not going to do anything because I'm in non-resistance. That's not what's happening. When we get out of non-resistance, it's what allows us to have a fluid stroke of swimming and come, out of the current and into the shore, so to speak, instead of like flailing about wildly in a way that doesn't really bring us anywhere. So if you're in fear or in stress or fighting against disease or trying to improve, it's like you're flailing about wildly, all four limbs flying in different directions instead of a fluid stroke of swimming. When you come into this alignment and the harmonic of self-acceptance, okay, here's where I am, and instead of trying to improve myself or improve my situation, I'm going to embrace where I am right now, but do it with total allowing, without rejection, with actually self-love and acceptance. That self-acceptance is like a tonic. It's an antidote. It allows your body to work in a cohesive way so that swim stroke can be easy and effortless and fluid and make all the difference. And so that metaphor of like the fluid swim stroke could be a medication that you choose, or a Reiki practitioner, or some kind of a body worker who's like, oh, I know exactly what your body really needs, and boom, and it's easy, but it required you to be in that alignment first. And that is the complete opposite of self-improvement. So when we're trying to fix the situation or improve things or make things better, it always blocks us from our own wisdom. So I want to hear from you about what this has been like for you. What are you trying to change? What feels totally unacceptable? No. I can't just allow that. I have to change that because it's unthinkable. I want to hear about what that's been like for you. And the Mind Body Community, which is our group on Facebook, for those of you who are not yet in that group, the Mind Body Community is our group in Facebook. You're welcome to participate in that conversation. Someone brought this up a couple of weeks ago, like, how can I surrender and not fight when it's so unthinkable? And my comments in there, a lot of people actually commented on how helpful that was. So there's some insight there on how to really approach this in a new way. So hello to Paula and Ragnald. Cynthia, good morning. And also I'm seeing Randy is here. Janet, hello. Lots of love to all of you. It can be a real challenge. I think a lot of people come to this work because they're in this like self-help, self-improvement. And I know I probably read every self-help, self-improvement book that's out there. And it was about, 6 years ago that I realized, wait a minute. Why am I letting these books still sit on my shelf? Do I still think I need to improve? Can I finally allow life to come through me instead of trying to fix everything and improve everything? And I got rid of all those books and I, sent them back and to the universe for maybe someone else is going to Maybe that will assist someone's awakening, but that's not where I am anymore. I can allow something higher to come through me. This is a higher level of consciousness. That's what makes the difference in my life. That's what heals the disease. Certainly that's what allowed me to heal from autoimmune illness. I didn't figure out the magic potion and now I'm going to do that every day. I no longer suffer from that state because I'm no longer in fight with myself. Ragnald says, this is the opposite of what we read in magazines. Something needs to change constantly. I like this new way of thinking. It's less stressful. The way the magazines are anchoring you in is that they have your results. So you got to keep reading the magazine. You got to keep buying their product. You got to keep buying the thing. You're anchoring into something that disempowers you from what is within you. When you invest in things that connect you more with this power inside you, you'll always receive more than what you came with, or more than what you invested, either financially or energetically, or on any level. You'll always receive more. So there may be things you want to choose, like I mentioned, there's, maybe you go to a Reiki practitioner for alignment and you're like, oh, I know this really feeds and nurtures me. But if you're doing it to try to escape feeling not enough, or try to escape all this fatigue, or try to escape your pain, you're only putting a Band-Aid on the situation, and you'll constantly need more and more and more of whatever, quote unquote, the Reiki or the drug or the pill or the medicine is. And so you'll have to find it in 10 different ways, and each year it'll be different, and you'll have to search out more alternatives and more solutions, and it will be like, I have a lifestyle of self-improvement. My whole life revolves around my illness or whatever the problem is. Not the same as really being the medicine for what's required in your life. Yeah, the people in the magazines generally are not, they don't want you to be in your wholeness. I'm not saying they don't want you to be in their wholeness. They're not vested in you being whole because it's a fear-based paradigm. If you feel less than or not enough, you're going to buy their medicine. You're going to go get, next improvement. I've got to do their bun workout, and I've got to do this other thing. I've got to constantly keep going and going. I've had a lot of people sharing, is it ever going to end? When am I ever going to get there? And so in this paradigm of duality, which is like improvement or not good enough, you'll never ever be there. It's like a dangling carrot in front of you, but you'll never actually come into wholeness through seeking this way. Sabi says, please do perform some asanas now and enable us to follow. All right, I promise I'm going to create a video. It's not exactly yoga asana, but it's a physical massage technique that I have learned recently that helps energetic alignment in the body. It's definitely made a huge change to my yoga practice. And I know we're broadcasting Mind Body TV right now on the Addicted to Yoga fan page, so I will be incorporating more physical things into what we're sharing. Cynthia says, acceptance is the beginning of change. That can sound like such an oxymoron, because when we're in that fear and we're in that fight, it's like, the last thing I want to do is give up this fight. This is unacceptable. But what we know about the body is it's only going to create more stress, more contraction, more limitation, more inflammation, and actually contribute to the problem. Either the physical problem of the disease, the lack of health, or relationship problems where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my husband's doing this behavior and I don't want to deal with this anymore. I need to have a talk with him. Hey, we're not going to do it like this anymore. We're going to do something better. It's not going to work. We can only create real change through the harmonic of love, and love requires acceptance of what is. Cindy says, I fight my feelings and how I feel all the time. How to change. So we shared last week on the Ho'oponopono piece. This is a really powerful way to allow the body to release energies. And we actually put the package at drkimd.com, Ho'oponopono. I think we're going to need to change that link because I don't know anybody who already knows how to spell it, but it's Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, drkimd.com/Ho'oponopono. And in basic, when I feel oh my God, this is the unthinkable thing. Oh, no, I don't want to deal with this. I have to change it. Take 10 seconds and feel your body. What's actually happening? Your mind can go off into all kinds of projections. Oh my God, this is not okay. I hope this doesn't happen. Oh, I know this happened in the past and this is going to happen again. And it creates something unreal. But if you actually connect with your body, you can just ask your body, what am I feeling right now? What's actually happening? So real versus perceived threat. Is there a real threat? What am I actually feeling? Always, always your body will connect you with the truth, what's actually happening. So if you take a few deep breaths and presence that, it will greatly expand your awareness. It not only makes you more aware of what's happening, like a frustration or a physical experience of like tension in your chest or pressure in your shoulders or rumbling in your belly. It will also allow the process of healing. It allows the energy to begin to release. That happens just from your presence. So none of this is in fixing or improving. Okay, it will actually allow the release of energy. So of course you move into something more expansive and more fluid, and that feels so much better in the body. But you do not get there by fixing it. So for Cindy, when you begin to experience instead of fight your feelings, like what is actually happening? Oh, wow, there's this intensity I feel in my body. Wow. I can just experience it for 10 seconds and allow some of the energy to move instead of feeling like I have to do that thing to fix it. Let me find the next best workout and let me find the right asana poses and let me find the right diet and then somehow I'll feel better. It's never actually true. So when we actually presence what's happening in the body, it allows us to access our power. That's the transmutation. Danny says the hardest thing right now is not being able to sleep or relax, and also accepting the emptiness in the now. Freaking men. There has been so much we've been unwilling to really accept and embrace. So we constantly try to escape the now. I've got to be there. I've got to be better. I've got to do something more. We're constantly trying to make things better simply because we aren't willing to sit with our own pain. And now, again, it's not about the apathy of, I'm in pain. I guess there's no way to improve it. I'll just sit here. It's a matter of presencing. What am I feeling right now? What's actually happening? What's going on within me that makes me feel like I need to run or feel like I need to do or feel like I need to fix? That if I just presence it right now for this 10 seconds with awareness and acceptance, I can allow it to truly shift. That is the magic key that lies within us all that most people aren't talking about. Rachel says, it's hard to be present when I worry about the future. I know I should be more in the moment, but then my mind will drift to try to solve the future, which of course it can't do. How do you focus the mind? What I do, again, is I'll actually feel the physical body and anchor into that truth. The body can't live in the future. It can't live in the past. It can't live in this idea of what do others think of me or what do they need. I can only live in the now. And so it's a portal. So just presence your physical body. You can even put your hand on your heart. You can touch your, if you do skin on skin, like actually put your hand on your body and feel what that feels like. It's very grounding. It's been shown to increase oxytocin levels, which help you feel more harmonic. It's been shown to decrease cortisol levels, which just decreasing the cortisol alone will give you more insight and awareness. So just breathing, wow, I'm worrying about the future, but what am I actually experiencing? So feel into your body. I'll feel my body and I'll put my hand on my heart and I'll just breathe. What's actually happening? What am I feeling? Sometimes I feel a pressure in my chest or like a fluttering in the stomach or in the chest. And so I'll just breathe into that. Body, it's okay to feel this. Again, the Ho'oponopono meditation is awesome for this. I love how it came out. And it's a meditation I sort of adapted from Dr. Hugh Len, who has shared a lot on Ho'oponopono. You can look at last week's Mind Body podcast for that. And this is just a really easy meditation, but you'll integrate it as a new way of being with yourself and a new way of meeting your pain. And if you would like that, that's available. It's at drkimd.com/Ho'oponopono. Absolutely, that's an invitation for you. But even just listening to the Mind Body TV podcast that we did last week is a really beautiful way to begin to integrate a new harmonic. How I presence what I notice in my body so I can let the energy move instead of needing to run away from it. Danny says, as I have these beliefs about not being able to sleep, like I'm gonna stay sick. Yep. So when we're not settled in, we're not settling into the body, there's a lot more of that fight or flight that gets turned on. There's a lot more of the cortisol and the inflammatory hormones and all of the kind of adrenaline. Your adrenals kick in. Your adrenals are kicking in to help you out. Oh, things aren't okay? Great. We're ready to go. But the reality is that things are okay. what's required is for you to be still and breathe, for you to allow all of the residue to just settle down and release and dissolve. Your presence is what is required, not your reaction. And so if you're having trouble sleeping, this is a huge one. There's so much that's integrating on the planet right now, a much higher harmonic, a much higher consciousness. The frequency of the planet has been increasing very rapidly. That will disrupt these old patterns of like what you stuck under the rug. Oh, I don't have to deal with that as long as I keep distracting myself. Overworking, eating reactive foods like I got to eat ice cream, or I've got to just eat, I can't eat gluten, I've got to avoid this, I've got to do that, and staying busy with that. It can keep me in distraction, but it's not going to work anymore. And that's a blessing. I get it, how difficult this is. I've had a lot of friends connecting with me recently and people in the mind-body community of how like this is unthinkably scary. What's happening is we're moving into a new harmonic, and it's allowing us to release and purge all of these lower energies based in fear and separation. I don't have enough. I'm not okay as I am. I need to do more. I need to be more. I need to get there. All of that is falling away. And so it's going to sort of start to feel more painful or agitating or disruptive, but that's only so you can bring your awareness to it. That is all that's required. Allowing yourself to come into this higher harmony, this higher frequency, allows a lot of things to change in your life, and you just need to receive it and let it integrate. And yes, that does mean feeling the fear that's getting stirred up, feeling it and letting it move through. It will move through sometimes, usually very, very quickly. And the more presence you're willing to have with it, the more quickly it will do that. So yeah, I understand, Danny, what's coming up. So everyone, thank you for your comments, and I will be looking through to read the comments that come through after we've broadcast today. Nicole is saying, I feel like I've been in that place where I do nothing and I need to do nothing. I've been doing the Embracing Health program now, and for over a year, I've been doing another program that helps to retrain the brain and heal the body naturally. I feel like I don't want to do anything else for my health, but at the same time, I'm wondering if I'm missing something. I've been considering some supplements that seem really good, but I'm still so hesitant to try them. I haven't taken any supplements for over a year either. I feel stuck. So this is where you're in. Obviously, we've kind of connected on this too. There's a lot that's moving, and it requires a level of stillness with what is in order for it to complete. If we keep re-engaging in, why isn't it better yet? Why isn't it better yet? I've been giving myself love for 20 days now, or 20 minutes. Why don't I feel better? We're still in rejection and resistance. And I know it's really hard. I've met that moment so many times, but if we can just even, let's say 3 times a day, okay, I'm going to let all of this be exactly as it is and give it my full presence and feel what I'm feeling in my body. So what I'm feeling that's having me think, oh, maybe I should do that supplement. What I'm feeling that's having me think, things aren't working, it's not okay. What I'm feeling that has me think, geez, I don't want to do anything anymore, I'm so fed up. Or what I'm feeling that's having me think, I need to do another program, I need to learn more. All of it. It's the monkey mind. We're moving from that monkey mind into true peace and wholeness. And so if I can allow myself, and you don't have to just try to be in that state all day, forget it. 20 seconds, 3 times a day will allow you to make a huge shift, maybe even 2 minutes. So just pepper it in. Okay, body, whatever we have going on right now, the more you physically relax your body, sorry, there's cars driving by here, so I hope the audio is okay. The more you physically relax, the more you allow this energy to move. So just like you're taking a dose of a supplement or a medication, let yourself take a dose of pure awareness. Let yourself take a dose of that space of, I embrace all that is infinitely and unconditionally, even for just this 10 seconds. And I let everything go that I think, and I'm willing to feel everything that I feel and presence it fully and let it move. More breath. When there's more fear, use more breath. A lot of us learn this as yogis. When there's more fear, use more breath. So just breathing in fluidly, allowing the shoulders to relax, breathing out fluidly, best you can. So any of you that have other comments on like what this has been like for you, what it's been like experiencing this expansion in consciousness from a space of here's who I am, here's what requires, here's what here's what's required of me, here's what I'm doing. into like, wow, I'm kind of getting tired of this, and what else is possible? I would love to hear more about that. Randy says, this is exactly what I need assistance with, because I started working on my blog and got the website up and signed up with the wellness company that I know I can make the kind of money and lifestyle I want. But last month I haven't taken any action. And I've had all of this fear and guilt and shame that I'm not following through, or I'm not going to follow through. But I don't understand why I can't get motivated to work on something I know I want to do. This is a perfect question. It's because it's no longer about motivation, which is always what spurs us beyond fear. It's about inspiration. And that has to come from a place of stillness. If we're in fear, we're blocking inspiration. So we can't let ourselves be divinely guided and divinely sourced. The energy you will have to create this is totally different from the energy of motivation, keeping you from that detrimental outcome of, what if I don't follow through? Oh my God, I'll be a blob on the couch for the rest of my life and I'll never make it. What you're creating is way beyond that. It cannot be created through that motivation that is keeping you from that failure. It can only be created from the inspiration that comes through greater stillness. What you are inevitably going to create will be beyond your wildest imagination of what you're going to write, what you're going to share, how people are going to respond. It's something that goes beyond your current mind. So you can't create it from your mind. So it's okay to let as much stillness needs to happen to let that release. In one of the programs I've shared, there's this whole kind of the 4 quadrants of allowing inspired creation. And the first one is receiving. If we aren't willing to go deeper into witnessing our own pain and witnessing our own truth, we cannot really receive what's ready to come through. So it's okay for you to sit there infinitely. I guarantee you that inspiration will move you, but it will not be the same as what motivation moves you to doing, or how it looks. Lena is from Karachi, Pakistan. I'm a yoga instructor. Beautiful. It's wonderful to have you here. I love hearing where people are from. Please give me some tips. So I hope this has been helpful for you, Lena. Elaine, hello, beautiful Elaine. I've been dealing with chronic GAD, and is that a gastroesophageal disease? It's difficult to deal with. Allowing it to be there is something I'm trying to do. Because it's such a dreadful feeling, it's very difficult to allow it. I've been rewiring my brain, and now I'm seeing a little improvement. Acceptance is something I'm definitely working on. So you'll have more awareness of, body, what do you need? What's required here? What's going to help here? From this space of taking that 20 seconds to really meet the pain and feel into it, than you will from trying to fix it. I've got to improve this. I got to improve it. Actually sitting with it doesn't mean you sit with it 24 hours a day. It means that you're approaching it from a deeper level of awareness and not from fear. If it is gastroesophageal disease, this pain is awakening you to a deeper sense of self. There's a way of being. Like for me, I was like fighting myself. I got to improve. I got to be better. I got to do more. Life was trying to say, hey, Kim, this isn't going to work. This is not how you need to do it. You can be in a higher harmonic. You can have things and receive things effortlessly. And if I didn't feel the pain of my old approach, I would not have ever given it up. Lena says, yoga has been a massive change in my life and behavior. Cynthia, I read your book a few years ago. Mind-blowing. Addicted to yoga, or she said, I read the book. You may also be referring to the Ho'oponopono book, but I appreciate if it's been my book, because the Mind Body Toolkit is something, if those of you who haven't, visited that, is something you might want to consider. It's just basic tools to assist the body in releasing these old energies and allowing the integration of this higher harmonic that we're moving into. That's at drkimd.com/book if you'd like to look into that. There's a lot of resources on the website, of course, and these are offered for everyone. So we'll be here every week on Mind Body TV. It's also now on iTunes as the Mind Body TV podcast. So I'm super excited to be sharing that with you. I can be found at drkimd.com, and we'll be here every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. I love hearing from you, and I will look forward to seeing you next week as well. Lots of love. Bye.